Hey everyone, it's your buddy Crypto Profit back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a quick look at BitTorrent and the price behind it. So obviously there isn't great news for BitTorrent recently, with a 40% decrease in the last month, 13% decrease in the last week. And if you go to the 24-hour period, we're seeing a very, very small increase in the last 24 hours. The market cap is still fairly low. I mean, it's at $3.7 billion. You have to remember, that is a fairly low market cap in today's kind of cryptoverse. It used to be $1 billion, was actually a pretty big sized, market cap, but now, 3.7 billion is not too big. We have a volume right around 885 million. That needs to shoot up for us to continue, really a growth. We need to see some green, and the only way to see that green is to continue to see more volume buying BitTorrent. Obviously, that is exactly what we need to see. And I talk about, why BitTorrent is one of those coins that may see a couple of weeks or a couple of months even of just a downward spin. I think it will eventually go up. I think it'll actually eventually make it to that $1 that everyone talks about. It's just going to be a while down the road. And I want to talk about why BitTorrent is one of those coins that is going to take a while to move up, and why it's one of those coins that has had such a low, really a side trend for quite some time now. If you take a look at the last month, or really a year, you can see we had a massive increase. Anytime you have a massive increase, you have a correction or consolidation usually, so that's exactly what happened and occurred. We saw a couple market dips early. We saw another market dip. So unfortunately, the timing is pretty rough for BitTorrent. Also, included with that, BitTorrent hasn't really come out and said anything special about new updates or new really progress in their system. They've had some little spiels every once in a while, but nothing too crazy, and that's exactly what we need for BitTorrent to really gain, more influence on the, the price itself. So we see that at 0.0056 right now, still an okay entry point. I will say, guys, it's hard to know exactly where BitTorrent's going to go, but I will have price predictions at the end of the video for May, June, and 2021, so make sure to stick around for that. I do want to talk about really some of the information that we've gotten recently on BitTorrent. They tweeted out some recent news and information, so we'll definitely take a look at that. But before we do that, guys, I want to say I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not really, giving you guys financial advice. Always do your own research. BitTorrent is one of those coins that unfortunately has not been doing very well recently. A 40% decrease in the last month, 13% decrease in the last, week alone. So we are seeing it hopefully going to be recovering here with all the other coins as we continue on our path back to really that 50,000 Bitcoin or 60,000 really Bitcoin for our price point there. But BitTorrent's going to follow pretty much the path of the market, in my opinion. It just unfortunately is not strong enough to do it on its own right now. We do need more volume buying in on BitTorrent to continue to see some growth. So jumping into the first tweet. Last week in BitTorrent, official DLive announced the 10 winners of the May the 4th on DLive Star Wars cosplay contest. Then they talk about the BTFS scan V1.2.0 now shows more data on the homepage. So this is their weekly report showing just these two things. So this is the only big bummer with BitTorrent. There's really nothing here. This is the problem. And we actually have the first tweet talking about it shows nothing. Shows more data. So really, they talk about how, the BTFS scan doesn't really show much more data. I don't know exactly what they were talking about there. Maybe they fixed it by now. But and then they're also talking about this update's kind of weak. I mean, there's nothing here in the last week that really makes people excited. So I do think if you're holding on to BitTorrent, that's perfectly fine. Would I be investing more into BitTorrent right now? Unfortunately, I would not, because I think, this price really realistically could continue to drop even farther. I think it's a coin that still has a lot of potential, a lot of upside to it, and there's a lot of risk reward investing in it. So if you want to invest, that's perfectly fine. But when you see this many red candles dropping below resistance, dropping really below support levels, it is a riskier buy. And I definitely think, like I said, BitTorrent does have a future. Unfortunately, we don't really know when it's going to actually take place, unfortunately, because like I said, they haven't come out with anything new with update-wise, any new really news or information. So everyone always talks about technical analysis and how important that is, and definitely is. But when you're in crypto, unfortunately, news and really updates are very, very important as well. So when things are breaking down and you look at the technical analysis and it doesn't make so much sense to you, or it breaks support levels that you didn't think it would break, it's probably because there's nothing coming out. There's no new information to keep people interested, or there's nothing about the coin that people are really interested about. And I think a lot of people are interested in BitTorrent because it has so many big things coming. Like we said, BTFS, official DLive integrations, BitTorrent speed, so many big things. But unfortunately, we haven't gotten any good updates to really make people really willing to wait, and that's exactly why some people are bailing out and taking either profits or taking their losses and going on to the next coin. So hopefully BitTorrent continues to really give us more information sooner rather than later to really hold on to what we have and also get us more investors. So jumping into the next one, we see friendly reminder, Ultron mainnet addresses holding BTT will receive NFT drops. Users holding BTT on exchanges will receive NFT drops or airdrops if exchanges support the airdrop of NFTs. So this is a big deal as well. So this is actually, one of the first things we've seen as a positive if you are a BTT holder. There hasn't been much else for our BTT holders, and this is great to see. Obviously, free airdrop of NFTs for BTT holders. That's exactly what we would like to see. Jumping into the next one, we are going to just take a quick look at some of the stats and then also jump into the website, talk about what's coming and why BitTorrent's going to have a great May, June, and 2021, or it could remain like we see here, 40% decrease in the last month. So BitTorrent X has 200 million wallets, over 2 billion users, and 100 million MAU. If we talk about BitTorrent protocol, it's used by Netflix, Facebook, Google, Twitter, Lionsgate, and DLive. I'm not going to deep dive into the website like we usually do, but obviously you guys know it's BTT is a TRC10 utility token based on the blockchain that powers features of the most really popular decentralized protocols and applications in the world. So this includes BitTorrent, or BTT includes, BitTorrent Speed, BitTorrent File System, DLive, and others in the pipeline. And that's all we'll really cover today on the website. I do want to talk about this though, guys. If you want to take advantage of really getting free money, really, if you invest in crypto.com, you can actually get $25 when you sign up and everything. And I would definitely take advantage of this. So you can join 10 million plus users buying and selling 100 plus cryptocurrencies at true cost. You can spend with crypto.com Visa card and get up to 8% back. And you can also grow your portfolio by earning up to 14% interest on your crypto assets. So I will say, guys, all of these referral links for different exchanges like crypto.com, Voyager, Binance, they're all in the description below, so you can take advantage of that, jump on those referral codes, and like I said, this supports me, it supports you, so take advantage of those. Crypto.com is definitely a solid one to take a look at. It talks about how to securely buy, sell, and store, and send and track, so it's really easy to buy cryptos at true cost and buy and sell 100 plus cryptocurrencies with 20 plus fiat currencies using bank transfers for your credit and debit cards. So it's a very, very cool concept. And like I said, it's definitely worth looking into if you have not already. Jumping back into our BitTorrent price, though, I do want to talk about those price predictions for May, June, and 2021. We do see it actually going down to a 0.0055. Unfortunately, I've hoped for, some updates to come out. I was really banking on BitTorrent to have some kind of news recently. They talked about, just hang in there, just hang in there, just hang in there. They haven't really said that recently, but, there was a lot of memes, a lot of tweets about just hang in there. If you're a BitTorrent holder, there's more coming. We haven't gotten much yet, and I don't know exactly when that's going to take place. I do suspect, that we will have some big updates soon. I don't know when, unfortunately. Obviously, nobody does, but that's the whole point is, when these updates come, we will start to see hopefully a bounce back for BitTorrent holders. So if you want to hold through this, that's perfectly fine. I do think BitTorrent's not going to have a great couple months ahead, though. So by the end of the month, obviously in a bull run or a bull market, we are only going to see BitTorrent make around a 0.0075 at the very most. I think that's going to be my new price prediction for May. Going into the end of June, about 1 cent is going to be my price prediction by the end of June. By the end of 2021, this is where we could actually see, solid increases to finally take place. It's going to be very hard to pin a 2021 price point because it could actually decrease, to be honest with you guys, or it could go up very, very crazily depending on what they have in store for us. So by the end of 2021, I'm going to have to pin it right around its previous all-time high, which is, about a penny and a half. And I know that's not what people want to hear because obviously some people probably buy on that penny and a half climb, but penny and a half, that's about where I'm going to have to pin it. And, it's obviously higher than its previous all-time high, but like I said, a lot of people want to see much higher than that, and we definitely could. That's another thing. These are very, very conservative price predictions. Always trying to be as realistic and reasonable with you guys as possible. I definitely want you guys to be able to trust my price predictions, and that's exactly why I say, a penny and a half is exactly, a range that I could see it jumping to before the end of 2021. Like I said, though, it could go much, much higher. It could go much lower. Really does depend on the developers. Obviously, they are, developers of the Tron ecosystem as a whole, and that's exactly why I do think they are going to be successful. It's just a matter of time. Unfortunately, they have so many different projects going on. I don't know if they have obviously enough attention put onto BitTorrent at this point in time. Hopefully they do. Hopefully we do get some updates and news very, very soon, because BitTorrent, like I said, guys, it has so much value behind it. A lot of people understand that. A lot of people know that. And that's exactly why we're all holding, or we're all looking for new entry points. And that's exactly why we have a lot of people buying at this 0.0055 mark. It's just a great entry point for a lot of people. A lot of people understand that, BitTorrent has a long-term future. So we'll see what happens with it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure to quickly subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and like the video. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys all in the next one.